People are the key to success. I wrote that about close to 10 years ago, now probably 8 years ago, for my application to university in my personal statement. And at the time, I wrote that because I wanted to sound intelligent, I wanted to sound smart, deep, philosophical even, really all just to serve my ego and get accepted to university. And while I somewhat believed in that phrase, it didn't really resonate with me as much as it does now as I've grown and I realized that nothing is done alone. You have a team, you have a squad, you have an entourage behind you that makes you the person that you are. Your parents, your family, your friends, your peers, the people that you do your hobbies with, they all influenced you to the being that you are now. And it's always been like that. We've always been like that as humans, where our numbers and our tribes and our community have not just led us to the survival of our race, but has also led to the, I guess, for lack of a better word, the thriving life we live now. Because if you're able to watch this and I'm able to record it, I'm gonna assume that, relatively we've got a good life. We have different struggles to our ancestors, but we don't at least have to worry about being killed and eaten by a big cat or a giant bird swooping down and picking somebody up and never seeing your friend again. I said that a little too deep, as if it was close to home. Not to say that I've seen one of my friends being picked up by a bird and swooped away, only the night out. But regardless, people being the key to success had me thinking about, I guess, the accomplishments of humans from our dawn to where we are now. And it's not just for this video, living to serve others. It's also just thinking about, how I live my life and potentially how you live your life. Because living for yourself, at least living for myself, I find it difficult. I find it difficult to live for myself. And I don't mean it in the sense that I feel suicidal, not at all. I mean it in the sense that there's a sense of comfortability and a sense of acceptance with letting myself down. If I've set myself a goal, a task, or a deadline to go about something, if I don't accomplish that task or whatever have you, by the time I said I'll get it done by, then I feel a little deterioration of my, I feel as though my self-esteem has deteriorated, yes. But it's not as great as the fact of knowing, it's not as great as knowing that I've let someone else down, that I've let a loved one, a friend, a family member, one of my brothers at jiu-jitsu, that I've let someone that I know, I've let them down. Could even be a stranger. Knowing that I've let them down is crushing. My heart falls to my stomach, and it's even greater blow to my self-esteem and the shame and acknowledgement that this person has put their trust in me and I've come up short. I failed to deliver, I failed to be there for them, I failed to support them. It's devastating. It is devastating. But thankfully, this is not something that I exercise too often. I try my very best to always be there for people and to not come up short. And that got me thinking, if I'm so willing to be there for people, but rather be there for people than I am for myself, then maybe I can spin that into a positive thing. And it's not to say that I'm comfortable or I want to remain comfortable letting myself down. No, by no means. That's not okay. Because I'm going to I am doing that now, just reflecting and thinking about ways I can reduce that day by day, little by little. You know, Kaizen, just small improvements along the way. Maybe I'll do a video about Kaizen if you've not heard of it, but I definitely would recommend adopting Kaizen. But wait for the video, I'll post that soon. And as I was saying, with it kind of and why I think I've struggled to really live for myself and really serve myself, and when I say serve myself, I mean to just take pride in constantly bettering myself and living to my values 100% all the time, and just not coming up short with myself. It might be because of the fact that I don't have something I can point out to and say, that's my purpose. If that's what the issue is, that I don't have a purpose to kind of keep on driving me forward and pushing me to continue to develop myself, then I need to change it. I need something in the meantime as a complement, as a short gap measure until I discover what that is. So for the time being, at the very least, I'm gonna let me serving others be my purpose. And how am I going to do that? I'm going to do that by but just changing my perspective of how I view things. So for example, while I enjoy going to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, like I said, I have my BJJ family there, my brotherhood there, I do it for the sense of I want self-confidence and I want to learn how to defend myself, but more importantly, I'm comfortable and confident in the fact that if I'm with a friend, a family, with a loved one, etc., that if we get into a tight situation, I'm able to be the calm one and probably deal with that. Hopefully not with violence, but if there's a threat of violence, I'm not panicked because I've seen violence. You know, I practice it at least 5 times a week. You know, so it's there. It might at least be in a safe setting in that no one's really trying to kill you. I mean, you say that, but being choked down, having someone trying to break your arm, have you think differently. But in a sense, I've at least seen violence, and I know that violence is not the way. So I'm comfortable and confident to know that I can serve those around me by being a protector. In the same way that I do these YouTube videos to, I guess for me, just to see if this is my purpose, to see if that I should be sharing what I've learned in my life so far and what I'm continuing to try and develop and learn and share that experience with everyone on the internet. Maybe that's it, because I'm serving others. So it's taking a step back and thinking about something that I perceived as a problem may not be a problem, may not be a solution to, may be the answer that I'm looking for all along. And maybe you should do the same. Maybe you should not think about how you're serving yourself. Maybe you should think about how you should be bettering yourself, not just for yourself, for the betterment of others. Because you may be a role model to somebody. You actually don't know that. And if you're a role model to somebody, you owe it to yourself and to them to be your best and to continue bettering yourself. Because if you can do that, if you can focus on that being your North Star every single day, every single moment, perhaps, maybe, that's a life worth truly living. But let me know. Take care.